As the old saying goes, the only thing constant is change, and since its founding in 1867, Clarion University has seen its fair share of changes. Beginning as Clarion Seminary shortly after the Civil War and rebranding to Clarion University just 30 years ago, the institution has changed its name 4 times, seen countless buildings torn down and rebuilt, and curriculum remodeled to fit the needs of students. While the university isn't planning to alter its name again anytime soon, other changes are on the horizon, changes across the board that, in the eyes of the administration, would make this university more competitive, more efficient, and ultimately a better place for students. There are many aspects that make a college or university appealing to prospective undergraduate students, including housing, curriculum, and, in most cases, the town in which the college resides. Those aspects must stay current, and that's just what Clarion University hopes to do with new projects and ideas on the table. To get to where the university wants to be, top administration officials have developed a master plan, which contains a list of goals in these and other areas. The plan was outlined at a town hall forum in February, where community members were also allowed to voice their opinions on the matter. But to fulfill the goals of the master plan, the university must first address its declining enrollment, which has decreased 8.5% over the last 2 years among the Clarion campus, the Venango College in Oil City, the West Penn branch in Pittsburgh, and through online courses. According to Clarion University President Karen Whitney, increasing enrollment is the university's foremost goal.
Well, I think we want to meet our mission of serving the region and really contributing to your success as students and the success of our faculty and staff. So I think a lot of that success is around growing our enrollment. Our enrollment's gone down the last couple of years and we want to build it back up. Not just to build the enrollment, but because I think successful communities have college-educated communities.
In the fall of 2010, over 6,000 students were enrolled at Clarion University or an affiliated campus. At the start of the fall 2012 semester, those numbers had dropped to nearly 5,500, and projections for future years don't look promising. According to data from the most recent study published by the Pennsylvania State System of Higher Education's System Research Office, the projected number of high school students graduating from schools across Pennsylvania will drop 16% by 2020. Of the students currently enrolled at Clarion University, 11% come from Clarion County, and the same percentage of students come from Allegheny County. By 2020, Allegheny County expects to see a quarter of its current amount of high school graduates disappear, and Clarion County, nearly half. But what is the real reason for such a decline? Bill Bailey is the Dean of Enrollment Management at Clarion University and says that demographics play a key role in understanding the trend.
Demographics is, in Western PA, has been declining for years, double-digit declines. Those won't show a return. Butler is the only county in Western Pennsylvania that has growth. Beaver, it fluctuates depending on how far you project ahead. Some of those numbers don't come back until about 2025 to what they were 5 or 6 years ago. So Forest County actually shows some increases, but the census on that, it's not accurate. So really the decline is primarily because regional universities, which we are, that primarily that pull about 75% of their population within about a 2.5-hour radius. Our 2.5-hour radius has a declining population.
Whitney says the university is looking at recruitment and curriculum expansion as ways to curb such a decline.
Well, there have been many plans. One is greater focus on recruitment. Getting more of our admissions folks and alumni out to different schools throughout Western Pennsylvania, but also we've moved into Ohio and New York. We reduced what we charge students who are out of state or from another out of the country to try to bring in more of a demand here. We're also looking at the kind of credentials that we're offering. We're looking at what credentials are our students interested in that we're not offering, that we should, what credentials might we consider offering that employers are interested in. So the idea of growth through broadening our market and growth through increasing the types of credentials we offer.
Some of the new and improved credentials include a restructuring of degrees and the creation of new programs and courses offered. This would include a 4-year nursing program at the Clarion campus. Presently, the Venango College has a 2-year nursing program, but increased demand has university officials at the drawing boards. Bailey explains that programming is an essential part of increasing enrollment.
That programming in itself is part of what we're doing. We've created and promoted the Bachelor's of Arts in Sciences to MBA program, a 5-year program. So programming is a lot of it that will help bring students to the campus. In particular this campus, and then online we're providing accounting as an online option, and also management, which will help draw students to the university.
So the nursing program, would that eliminate the Pittsburgh facility or is that sort of going to combine with that?
It would not. I mean, we're delivering courses there that help students earn a diploma in nursing from West Penn Hospital. We still will have the Associate of Science in Nursing at the Venango College campus. And then we'll also have the completion component, the BSN online, for those people that already have an associate degree in nursing. So the expectation is those would remain. The demand for nursing is so significant that we're not able to meet the supply within the state.
Both Bailey and Whitney have noted that they would like to see the university's enrollment jump, and Bailey predicts that the enrollment could double within the next 10 years. But to do that, Clarion University must stand out among the rest.
Really, there have been some numbers looked at. Can we get to 10,000? Some of the recent information that's been projected with growth in particular areas and how we might do things differently have really gotten us as high as the 8,000 something within the next 10 years. And that's being very, very innovative as a university. It's not doing business as usual. It's part of its admissions, but it's what we're delivering, how we're delivering it, and where we're delivering it. So what's the advantage of choosing Clarion over all the other options that are around?
Whitney and other top Clarion University leaders are hoping to make that choice easier for prospective students by creating new on-campus housing. The $58 million plan would call for the demolition of Wilkinson and Nair halls and the creation of 2 new dwellings, one on each side of Route 322. The new housing, called semi-suites, are a more scaled-down version of the existing suite-style residences, Campus View and Valley View, but more elegant than the present dormitories. The university has plans for 2 types of rooms in the semi-suites. The first would be to create a room with 2 single bedrooms with a small common area and a bathroom. The second plan would be to create a room with 2 double bedrooms with an entryway and a bathroom. Michelle Keeley-Harbaugh, Director of Residence Life at Clarion University, outlines the future plans. So first, what would you say is the #1 housing goal for Clarion University over the next 5 years, perhaps a decade?
To create housing students want, #1, that isn't cost prohibitive, but provides a service that they're really going to want to live in. Student needs are constantly changing with regard to the amenities they want, the services in the building, the equipment that's there, the wireless and the technology available. So I think creating something that's going to meet their changing demands to keep us competitive with our other schools while trying to keep our costs in line so that we're not outpricing the market.
Keeley-Harbaugh says that right now the date when the halls will open is still up in the air. Much of the uncertainty stems from the funding sources for the project, but she adds that it's the hope of all involved that the new halls will open in time for the fall 2015 semester. More sophomores will likely be living on campus as well. The university has developed a new policy that would require students to live on campus for 2 academic years in what has become known as the 2-year plan. And Keeley-Harbaugh says that creating such a plan is purely for retention purposes. So this wouldn't have anything to do with the financial side of things. This is more academic.
Oh, it's absolutely. It's a retention piece. We want to, we can pull the data, like I said, to show, you may have a 78 or 80 or 85% retention if you've lived off campus, but if we can get everyone to that 90% rate, well, that helps everyone as a whole.
Where a student lives isn't important if they don't come to Clarion University at all, which is why university officials are placing such a heavy emphasis on enrollment and curriculum. These 2 aspects are dependent on one another in that higher enrollment equals more faculty. Until enrollment increases, officials say students may have to go without. The Anthropology, Geography, and Earth Sciences Department, also known as AGES, has already seen cuts or a lack of replacement resources over the course of the last decade as a result of lower enrollment and lower funding. Since 2000, AGES has lost 6 faculty members. Additionally, 1 faculty member will retire after the 2012-2013 school year, and Department Chair Tony Vega says this person may not be replaced. He says this would not only leave the department without the proper amount of professors, but the entire university would be affected.
Right now we're at a sort of tipping point. We can offer the degree programs as they are currently, but if I lose even 1 faculty member, I can't do that anymore.
What would happen if you lost another? How would that impact students, not only in this major, but really across the board?
It would greatly impact us all the way from gen eds all the way up to the highest level of required courses in a major. We would not be able to offer required courses and additional required courses in environmental geoscience, geology, anthropology, and other departments are going to be affected by that as well. Education with the gen ed offerings would be directly affected, and environmental biology is greatly dependent upon some of the faculty resources we have in our department. So all of those degree programs would be directly affected by the loss of even one faculty member.
Vega adds that hiring more faculty may also solve the university's enrollment problem.
The university has to look at it as basically an investment into the future. If you don't invest into the future to grow, then the only thing you can do is stagnate at best, and the likelihood is that you won't even do that. You won't even tread water. You basically just start to sink. So getting additional faculty is paramount to the gen ed offerings across the university for every major, as well as basically trying to help the university acquire more students through the development of new programs and programs that have more impact regionally.
A portion of the master plan looks at not just what students are learning, but also how they learn it. Clarion University is looking to take a step away from what they call passive learning and cross over into what they call active learning, a method in which students are more engaged emotionally and psychologically rather than simply putting pen to paper in lecture-based classes.
We want spaces that support that kind of dynamic learning. You know, formal learning spaces and informal learning spaces. Formal learning spaces where you've got really great connectivity to the internet, to whether it's interactive items that you partner, economics class partners with another economics class, let's say in England, and there are some joint projects or discussions there.
Are we looking at any new setups in the classroom, or is this perhaps a chance to expand the classroom and move it perhaps outdoors or something?
I think you'll find both. I think in many ways this comes down to the faculty's interpretation of high-impact educational practices and how to increase the amount of how dynamic the learning experience is. So I think the answer is yes and yes. In some cases it means you may be actually spending less seat time in the classroom and more time out in the field, or it may mean the whole experience in the class changes.
Pennsylvania's 14 state universities has seen reductions in funding over the last 2 years due to budget cuts that have been enacted by the Commonwealth, which is one reason why fewer faculty members have been hired and class sizes are larger. But the new contract between the Pennsylvania State System of Higher Education and the Association of Pennsylvania State College and University Faculties signed in February pledges to focus on class size subject to the Curriculum Committee recommendations. Clarion University APSCUF President Jamie Phillips says that he would like to see reasonable caps on class sizes so students can learn in the best environment.
What I would like to see happen is that we go back and we look at lots of different classes and think about what is the optimal class size for a distance education class, what's the optimal class size for a writing class, and try to put in reasonable caps on those types of classes, even if we allow caps on other classes to be larger.
At the end of the day, college is only one part of a student's life, and Whitney says she knows that, which is why she'd like the university to partner with members of the local community.
The other notion of value after the academics are the non-academic, or what I'll call the quality of life aspects. You know, where would you stay? Who would your friends be? What would you do when you're not in class? You know, what's the total college experience? And that's where the borough, the town, and the gown come together. The Clarion University, borough, township, and county all contribute to that total quality experience.
Whitney says the university has plans to make the drive along Route 322 more scenic. That includes moving the existing Starbucks location and bookstore to this area. She also says the university plans to build an instructional theater, and that would get more community involvement and make Clarion what she calls a cool college town.
I'm on a mission for Clarion to be a cool college town. And one aspect about being a cool college town is that there are people who come to Clarion, come to school here, fall in love, and don't want to leave. And they find a great living here after they complete their degree. So in different ways we want to look at as a university, how can we work with the community to make that happen more often.
If all goes according to plan, Clarion University may look much different in the next 5 to 10 years with new housing facilities, more students, and increased community involvement. All of the pieces to the puzzle are interdependent in that if one fails to fit, so do the others. But to get to the point where students don't want to leave Clarion as Whitney wants, she and other top university officials must first get them to come here.